Imagine marrying the woman of your dreams, only to discover she's already slept with 12 other men. You stay for 15 years, trapped in a marriage that slowly drains your soul, while secretly planning the ultimate revenge. This is the story of betrayal, obsession, and a revenge that took over a decade to complete. By the end of this story, you'll question everything you thought about love, loyalty, and justice. This story begins with a boy born into poverty. His childhood was small, limited, and full of restrictions. A tiny house, a struggling family, and a future that looked exactly like everyone else around him, bleak and predictable. In a place where people don't dream, they only survive. But this boy was different. Inside him lived a restlessness, a fire, a constant voice whispering, "This can't be my whole life. I'm meant for more than this." He grew up fighting circumstances bigger than him. His education wasn't perfect, his environment wasn't helpful, and nothing ever came easy. Still, he kept pushing. He studied whenever he could, learned from the world instead of just books. And slowly, he carved a path that no one in his town expected. He got into university. The day he read that acceptance letter, he felt something shift inside him. It was the first time he saw a real door opening, a way out of the life he was born into. For the first time, he felt in control of his destiny. University felt like a new universe. New people, new ideas, new possibilities. And in the middle of this new world, he met her, the girl who would become the most beautiful and the most destructive chapter of his life. She was stunning, effortlessly beautiful. Smart, sharp, charismatic. And there was something else about her. Something broken, something intense, something that pulled him in before he even understood what it was. From the moment he met her, he felt, "She's different, and she's going to change my life." Their connection ignited quickly. Long conversations, late-night messages, study sessions, small romantic moments. To him, it felt like love. To her, it felt like comfort, a place to unload her pain, her chaos, her loneliness. What he didn't realize was that she wasn't just emotional. She had deep wounds, emotional instability, and a personality that swung between extremes. Borderline tendencies he couldn't recognize at that age. One moment she loved too hard. The next she pushed him away brutally. But he stayed, because somewhere inside him, he believed, she just needs someone to be there for her. This illusion, this innocent belief, tied them together in a bond that wasn't love. It was a trauma bond. Intense, addictive, painful, and impossible to walk away from. Still, he believed she had a bright future. He saw her potential, her intelligence, her sharp mind. And a small part of him secretly hoped, maybe one day she'll be successful, and maybe she'll pull me into a better life with her. Time passed. Their connection grew deeper, darker, and more complicated. And neither of them realized. This wasn't the start of a love story. This was the beginning of a 15-year tragedy neither could escape. As time passed, their relationship grew stronger on the surface. But underneath, cracks were forming. She was still beautiful, still brilliant, still magnetic, but her instability never truly went away. There were days she loved him intensely, almost obsessively, and then days she treated him like he didn't matter at all. He kept telling himself, "It's just a phase, she'll get better, love will fix this." But one night, everything changed. It was late, past midnight, the kind of night where silence feels heavy. They were sitting together when she suddenly went quiet, her face pale, her hands shaking. And then she whispered, "I need to tell you something." He didn't know what to expect. Maybe something about her past, maybe something emotional. But what came next felt like a punch to his chest. She broke down crying, the kind of crying that comes from guilt and fear, and confessed that she had cheated on him. Not once, not twice, but with 12 different people. For a moment, he couldn't breathe. The room blurred. Her voice faded. Everything inside him collapsed. He wasn't just hurt. He was destroyed. He had loved her with everything he had. He stayed through her chaos. He built his dreams around her. And she had been sleeping with 12 other people. He sat frozen, his heart bleeding, while she cried and apologized. saying she was broken, unstable, lost, confused. But none of her words could erase the truth. She betrayed him 12 times. That night could have ended the story. He could have left. He could have broken the bond. But he didn't. Because somewhere inside him, another part of his mind started whispering. She's going to be successful. She'll have a high-paying career. If you stay, you'll live a comfortable life. It wasn't love anymore. It wasn't hope. It was a cold, calculated survival instinct. He told himself he was forgiving her. But deep down, something darker formed inside him. A resentment he swallowed and hid. He didn't realize it then, but that night planted a seed. A plan. A promise. A silent rage. The beginning of a revenge that would take 15 years to complete. He stayed with her. He pretended to move on. But he never forgot the number. 12. And one day, he would make her pay for it. After the night of her confession, something inside him changed forever. On the outside, he acted calm, forgiving, understanding. He told her he wanted to try again, rebuild, and move forward. But deep inside, a cold emptiness replaced the love he once had. He wasn't staying for love anymore. He wasn't staying for healing. He wasn't staying for a future together. He was staying for the lifestyle. For the comfort he knew her success would bring. For the stability he believed he could never achieve alone. He had grown up poor. He understood the weight of financial struggle. And now he had a chance to escape that life forever. Even if the price was swallowing his pain. So he made a decision. I'll stay. I'll play along. And one day, I'll take back everything she took from me. When the time for marriage came, he stood at the altar beside her. She looked beautiful, confident, glowing, the perfect bride. Family and friends sat smiling, unaware of the storm hidden beneath their smiles. Everyone thought it was a love story finally reaching its happy ending. But he knew the truth. As he said the words, "I do," something inside him whispered, "This marriage won't last. But I need it." He hated himself for thinking like that. He hated her for pushing him to this point. He hated how life had shaped him into someone who calculated survival over love. But he still said yes. Because he had already made an internal bargain. She used him emotionally. Now he would use her life to escape his past. The early years of the marriage were quiet, stable, predictable. She was ambitious and talented, quickly climbing her career, earning more and more every year. Her income became the backbone of their lifestyle. A nice home, patience, comfort, security, and he lived it with her, outwardly as a supportive husband, but inwardly as a man counting the days, counting the years, counting his silence, counting his pain, and counting that number, 12. Every time he looked at her, he remembered. Every time she smiled, he remembered. Every time she talked about loyalty, love, future, he remembered. He didn't forgive her, not truly. He simply buried the hatred deep inside and let it grow quietly. He didn't plan revenge yet. Not actively. But he knew the day would come. He knew the day she broke again. The day she became unstable again. The day she revealed her true self again. That would be the day he would finally take everything back. For now, he played the role of a loving husband. But the marriage was already a lie. Built on betrayal, held together by ambition, and destined to collapse. And deep inside him, a dark promise waited. One day, I will repay her betrayal with the same number she gave me. The years rolled on, and from the outside, their life looked perfect. A beautiful home, steady income, vacations, dinners, social circles. A classic upper-middle-class marriage. People admired them. Families praised them. Friends envied them. But behind closed doors, the truth was very different. As her career kept rising, something inside her began to fall apart again. The same instability she had in university, the emotional swings, the impulsive anger, the need to control. All of it slowly resurfaced. She became sharp with her words. Cold. Dismissive. Her patience vanished, and her temper became unpredictable. She started drinking. A glass at dinner. 2 glasses on weekends. Until eventually it was bottles, every day, every night. The more successful she became at work, the more broken she became at home. She stopped trying, stopped caring, stopped being a partner, stopped being a wife. Their marriage turned into a one-sided prison, emotionally empty, physically dead, spiritually exhausting. He tried at first. He made efforts, initiated conversations, attempted intimacy, but every effort met a wall. Arguments replaced affection. Silence replaced connection. Avoidance replaced love. And then came the intimacy drought, a long stretch of a sexless marriage, with her always tired, always angry, always distant. He went from feeling hurt, to feeling numb, to feeling trapped. And while she spiraled into alcoholism, he spiraled into quiet resentment. Every time she yelled at him, every time she ignored him, every time she treated him like a burden instead of a partner, that number echoed in his mind. 12. 12 people she cheated with. 12 times she broke him. And now she was breaking him again, but differently. Through neglect, disrespect, and abuse. He spent 15 years pretending, smiling at dinners, acting normal in public, keeping up the illusion of a happy marriage. But inside, he knew the truth. This marriage was dead long ago. He was only living inside the ghost of it. By the 15th year, he finally accepted something he had been avoiding for years. He didn't love her. He didn't respect her. He didn't even want a future with her. And he definitely wasn't going to fix anything anymore. Her alcoholism got worse. Her temper got uglier. Her emotional cruelty grew heavier. And he stopped caring. He stopped trying. Stopped arguing back. Stopped giving his energy to something that had already died. He remembered the promise he made to himself all those years ago. The silent promise born the night she confessed. She betrayed me with 12 people. One day, I will match that number. And now, after 15 years of being treated like nothing, that day finally arrived. He no longer wanted to save the marriage. He wanted to end it, and he wanted to end it his way. This was the moment his revenge truly began. After 15 years of being emotionally drained, neglected, and silently humiliated, something inside him finally snapped. Not loudly, not suddenly, but quietly, like a switch flipping in his mind. One morning, he woke up and realized, I don't care anymore. I don't care about this marriage. I don't care about fixing anything. I don't care about her. And the moment he stopped caring, he remembered the deal he made with himself long ago. She cheated with 12 people. I will sleep with 12 women. The same number. No more, no less. It wasn't about pleasure. It wasn't about attraction. It wasn't even about desire. It was revenge. Cold, calculated, deliberate revenge. So he began. The first step, the massage parlor. He didn't start with dating or affairs. He wanted to test how far he was willing to go. So he walked into a massage parlor, clean, professional, discreet. A beautiful Lebanese woman greeted him. At first, the sessions were simple. Standard. Nothing more. But over time, things shifted. Boundaries softened. Curiosity grew. One day, he offered to massage her. She agreed. And that became the moment everything escalated. He pushed the limits. She didn't resist. Slowly, the touching turned mutual, and then intimate, and then full access. He went down on her, pleasured her, explored her freely. Session after session, she let him do more. And then one day, she looked at him, took out a condom, bent over the table, and said nothing, because she didn't need to. They had sex. Their first full encounter. That was woman number one. A new parlor. A new experience. A new woman. After a few months, he wanted something different. He was clean, shaved, dressed well, presenting himself like a man who knew exactly what he wanted. At the new parlor, several women walked out and lined up for him to choose. And then he saw her, a 22-year-old woman named Florence. Young, perfectly shaped, angelic face, magnetic vibe. He picked her instantly. Their first session was simple, but she had a charm, a softness, a warmth that surprised him. The second session? Very different. She knelt down and offered him a blowjob, without being asked, without hesitation. It was slow, intimate, deliberate. And he felt something he hadn't felt in years. Desired. He couldn't hold back. He pulled her closer and went down on her, discovering she was sweet, soft, and unlike anyone he'd been with. Their chemistry grew session by session. She began offering him full service for an extra $100. And he accepted every time. Florence became woman number 2. But also the one who almost broke the rule, because she started developing feelings. She eventually gave him her private number, wanted to see him outside work, wanted more. And that scared him. This wasn't about romance. It was about revenge. So he ghosted her instantly. And then the numbers started rising. He visited more parlors, more women, more hidden moments, more blurred lines. Over the next few years, heavy checkmark he visited massage parlors dozens of times. Heavy checkmark he got happy endings from 30 to 40 different sessions. Heavy checkmark he had full sex with 9 different women. And still he wasn't done. Because the number had to reach 12. The final strike, the affair that completed the count. At a work conference, he met a 27-year-old married woman. Younger, attractive, confident. Their connection was instant. Dangerous. Electric. They began an affair. A secret, intense, 18-month relationship. She became woman number 12. The number he had been waiting for. The number he promised himself. The number that matched her betrayal. It was done. The revenge was complete. He looked at his wife after that and felt nothing. No guilt. No love. No regret. He had finally taken back what she stole from him 15 years ago. And now, he was ready for the end. By the time he reached woman number 12, he wasn't the same man anymore. He wasn't the quiet, forgiving, patient husband he once tried to be. He wasn't the boy who believed love could fix broken people. He wasn't even the man who tried to survive inside a dying marriage. He had transformed into someone else. A man who had finally taken control of his pain. And the final push into this transformation came from the one relationship he never expected to develop. The 18-month affair with a 27-year-old married woman. A chance meeting that wasn't so accidental. It happened at a work conference. A place full of suits, seminars, corporate smiles, and hotel rooms. She was young, confident, and dangerously charming. Their eyes met once, a second time, and then it became a silent invitation. They started talking casually, laughing a little too easily, standing a little too close. She was married, but unhappy, frustrated, lonely. He didn't ask why. She didn't ask about his marriage either. Some connections don't need explanations. A decision made in a hotel hallway. After a long conference day, they stood outside their rooms, doors only a few steps apart. A quiet moment, a long, lingering gaze. And without planning it, without discussing it, without thinking of consequences, she walked into his room. The door closed, and everything changed. What started as a moment of impulse turned into a relationship that lasted a year and a half. The most dangerous woman of all. She gave him something his wife couldn't give for years. Pension, desire, warmth, excitement, connection. With her, he felt alive again. Seen again. Wanted again. He wasn't just a husband trapped in silence. Not a placeholder. Not a punching bag. Not a ghost in his own home. With her, he felt like a man again. They met in hotels. They texted secretly. They planned weekend trips under fake excuses. Their chemistry was raw, real, and addictive. The relationship was reckless, but it completed him in a way the marriage never could. And most importantly, she became the 12th woman. The final number. The number that completed his revenge. The beginning of the end. He didn't hide the affair perfectly. He didn't need to. He didn't care anymore. His wife sensed something was wrong. The silence, the distance, the sudden confidence in him. Eventually, she discovered the 18-month affair. Not the massage parlors. Not the 30 to 40 sessions. Not the other women. Just the affair. But that was enough to shatter the marriage publicly. Arguments. Broken trust. Explosive fights. Nights of accusations and denial. The fragile foundation of their marriage collapsed instantly. He didn't defend himself. He didn't apologize. He didn't explain. Because deep down he believed she had started this war. He was only finishing it. Their marriage was over. Fully, finally, permanently. And he felt something surprising. Not guilt. Not fear. Not sadness. But relief. For the first time in 15 years, he could finally breathe. After the dust settled and the marriage officially ended, he finally stepped out into the world as a free man. 15 years of resentment, betrayal, and quiet suffering had ended. The life he once felt trapped in, the emotional prison, the constant humiliation, the powerlessness, was gone. A fresh start. He sold the house tied to their marriage. Divorce proceedings gave him financial security. A fully paid $1 million house. Debt-free. A life built from the aftermath of years of careful planning, patience, and revenge. He didn't rely on her anymore. He wasn't waiting for anyone to provide comfort. He had his own high-paying job. One that allowed him to travel the world, explore new experiences, and live life on his own terms. A new partner, a new chapter. He didn't immediately jump into another relationship. But over time he met someone new. Someone kind, steady, and emotionally healthy. This partner didn't carry the chaos of the past. She didn't bring betrayal, manipulation, or abuse. With her, he experienced affection, trust, and stability for the first time in years. It was healing. It was freedom. It was everything the marriage could never be. The wife's downfall. Meanwhile, the ex-wife's life unraveled. Alcohol and drug abuse consumed her. Career prospects vanished. Financial instability and poor decisions left her struggling. The very woman who once used him for emotional comfort and financial stability was now drowning in the consequences of her choices. The irony wasn't lost on him. 15 years later, the power balance had shifted completely. Reflections on revenge and life. He didn't feel proud of what he had done. But he didn't regret it either. He had endured betrayal, heartbreak, neglect, and abuse. He had been patient. He had calculated. And he had reclaimed control over his life. The revenge was complete. And the victory wasn't just about the women, the affairs, or the payback. It was about freedom. It was about self-respect. It was about living life on his terms. For the first time in 15 years, he could truly say, I am free. I am alive. I am me. And that was the ultimate ending. The kind of ending no one could take away from him. After 15 years of betrayal, manipulation, and heartbreak, he finally reclaimed his life. He was free, wealthy, and living life on his own terms, while she spiraled into chaos and regret. The revenge was complete, and justice, in a way, had been served. If you thought this story was intense, hit that like button and make sure to subscribe to our channel for more unbelievable real-life revenge stories. Turn on the notifications so you never miss a story that will leave you shocked, inspired, or questioning everything you know about human nature. It's just